I mean, in general, like all these emotions that you have.
There's a good and bad to every emotion.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And if you don't learn how to channel it properly, like you were saying, then it could be a driving force. You know, like
balance.
Yeah. So, like, I think it's important to use those emotions wisely in ways that are going to push you into action that's going to favor you in achieving your goal. Sometimes people have emotions that are deconstructive, you know, like binge eating, or, you know, people start smashing stuff when they get angry. That's not constructive, you know? So, but I think that's just part of being emotionally mature, learning how to... Yeah, because most people think emotions are not controllable, and I disagree with that. I believe...
They are completely controllable. Yeah. I know this because this year when I cut to rooster weight, it was crazy the cut at the end. I cut my hair at the end.
I saw you struggling.
So at the end, I was in a lot of pain. But what I've learned about pain is that it's there, and you don't touch. Like, you just let it sit. If you try to fight the pain, you build it. It takes so much more out of you, the pain. But if you just let it sit and you don't touch it, and you just stare at it, and you say, okay, the pain's sitting right here, and you don't touch it. You could just, it's just a feeling. Like, it's irrelevant, like the feeling of pain.
It's amazing that you see, like you're able to, like, remove something that would normally corrode someone.
You're able to just stare at it.
But when you're staring at it, notice what you're doing. You're actually removing an incredibly negative feeling that normally permeates every cell of everyone's body, and they're not able to think because of pain or anger. What you're doing, Mikey,
because they make it so big.
You're pushing it aside. That's outside of yourself, of your ultimate goal, which is like, I got to win this fight. And you're just like, you happen to be here. That's that. Let's get on with work. You don't let it destroy you. Yeah.
That's what I've learned, like, recently, like how to handle emotions better. You know, as I'm getting older, like the pain, that was the biggest thing that I've learned, and how like pain's so irrelevant. It's a feeling, just like every other feeling.
And when you're talking about pain, are you talking about the physical pain of cutting weight, or the psychological?
There's so many types of pain, but just every type of pain. You're feeling nervous, you feel anxious, like to do something, like. You have to, like for me, I'm very introvert. So when I first started doing seminars, I was very, very uncomfortable to do seminars, like talking to a lot of people that I never met before. Like, it was very hard for me. So I used to just pinch my arm, like uncomfortable, you know. But now I just, okay, I feel nervous or I have anxiety. I accept it. Okay, I have that. It's just there. It doesn't matter though.
You accept it.
Yeah, it's just sitting right here. You don't touch it. If I build it in my mind, I have this feeling, I have this, then it paralyzes you. Yeah. Because you let it paralyze you. Yeah. You have control of letting emotion or a feeling paralyze you, or just let it be there. Yeah. You just let it sit there, you know. That's how I've learned to handle those stressful situations. And anytime my body or mind are going through a really hard endeavor, you know, that's what I've figured out.
You're able to remove yourself from that.
I'm able to remove myself.
Because it's stopping you from achieving your goal.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing, Mike. I hope that people listen to this realize what amazing advice that is. Like, even for myself, I'm listening to you and like, man, I'm actually learning a lot here, man. Like, this is truly, man. Like, because you're right. Like, you have to, because you can't change the world. You can't stop yourself from feeling. You're human.
You can't stop yourself from feeling.
You're gonna feel.
And the feelings are what life is about. You want those feelings, that nervous anxiety feeling. Like, my biggest fear in life is to live life on a flat line where you don't feel anything and you're just living where you're not doing anything. I want life to be like this because that's when you're living, you know? And that's why I love competing, because it's uncomfortable. That uncomfortable feeling, though, is what I love.
Yeah, you know,
he loves. He loves uncomfort. Where most of us are desperately seeking comfort in everything we do.
That's what we love.
That's what makes you great, Mike. Is that you are chasing uncomfort and you're staring at fear and anxiety and pain and going, "Ha ha, bring it! I want more of it, and I'm going to grow from this." You know, and that's all the ingredients that make this.
Well, stress is what makes us grow. You know, like we need those.
We need stress.
We need, like we talk about, we need problems. We need stress.
Anxiety and stress.
And exactly. Like most people said, oh, you know, like when they would ask me when I'm competing, how are you not scared or how are you not nervous? It's like, no.
You always remain nervous.
Everybody is scared. Everybody is nervous. You're supposed to be. If I would be more concerned if I wasn't. And I have been in a few occasions and I didn't perform well. Because if you're not nervous going into a competition, to me, that kind of says that you're not interested.
You don't care.
You're not invested in the outcome. So you're fighting like a robot, which could work. But the guy who's really wants it, he's going to have more emotional energy than you. You know what I mean? So he's going to be able to put in more because he cares. He's invested.
I think that brings up two things with competing. One, the reason why we love competing, uncertainty.
Yeah.
If we knew for a fact we were going to win, would we care at all?
No. You wouldn't even go. Yeah.
That's what everything in life is about. Anything that's uncertain, that's what we are seeking.
You've defeated something. You accomplished.
That's what we're seeking. Anything uncertain.
Let me ask you this, Mikey. Do you feel that I've had moments like I feel like I've never liked the best athlete or anything. I had one thing I'm very competitive. I've always been. As a child, I hate losing. Remember playing Monopoly as a child? If I lost, I'd flip the board. Like I just hate losing, right? I've always been that way. And I feel like there's a certain anger there that I managed to channel. A lot of times I'd be losing a fight. Say I got a minute left. My coach yells at me. I'm losing. Dude, I'd go like ape shit. Like I'd lose it. You can see like I have like panicking. The feeling I would have is of panic that I'm about to lose unless I sweep this guy. And I'd switch gears in a way. Like I've lost counts of how many times I've turned a match at the very end because of this, right? So I guess like it's a feel of almost like I'm asking you if you can actually channel some like anger, or are you ever angry when you fight? If there's everything, not angry as in like angry at the fact that you're gonna lose, not at anyone, or are you always like very methodical, stoic, and like not very? Are you unemotional during your match?
So, I'm usually very unemotional when I compete. The only match I was emotional was when I fought Bruno Malfacini, and it was just because the background of like how when I was younger with him, we trained with each other, and then how he retired last year. And I won light feather, he won rooster, and he told me, okay, Mikey, I'm retired now. That's why I was doing light feather, because I trained with him when I was younger. So out of respect for him, I went up to light feather, because he helped me, and I didn't want to fight someone that helped me. Yeah. I never lived at his gym, but he was like 3.5 hours from my house. So I would sometimes go and get private lessons from him and let him kill me when I was a blue belt, like the train with Bruno Malfacini, insane. Yeah. So I was like, Bruno, okay, you helped me when I was a kid. Out of respect for you, I'm going to move up to light feather. Yeah. So I won light feather worlds. He won rooster worlds. He retired. Yeah. He won his 10th title. Yeah. So then in USADA, we're both sitting there hanging out. And he's like, okay, Mikey, I retired. That's it. I'm officially done. You could do rooster. So then I died for rooster. Then the week of worlds, he signs up for rooster after giving me his word that he wasn't going to fight, So for me, when somebody gives me their word, like word is like honor, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was very upset at him.
Because you didn't want to fight him.
And I never wanted to fight him, So I felt so bad fighting him, And when we were fighting, it was very hard for me to stay emotionally into the match. I kept getting emotional. And I'm fortunate that I won, but that was really hard for me to stay composed. Emotionally.
I remember at the end of the fight there, you guys had like a little altercation. Like what happened?
So I finished the fight, and if you watch the video, I don't celebrate at all. I don't raise my hand. I don't do anything. The first thing I do, because we haven't been talking. That morning before we fought, I went up to him and before I even fought him, he was gonna fight Kyle. I went up to him and shook his hand and said, "Ooh," and good, just to break the ice out of respect for him, because I couldn't just remain angry at him, I wanted to be the bigger person and just shake his hand. So I went up and shook his hand that morning. So then when I finished the fight, the first thing I did, I didn't celebrate anything. I feel like we emotionally both let our emotions out on the mat, and we just settled it on. You know what I mean?
You guys had a war.
It was an insane match, and I'm actually grateful for him because he gave me the opportunity to fight a legend. I would have never fought him if he didn't do that. So it made me grow as a person competing with him.
And at the end there, I don't remember.
I went to shake his hand.
He got mad at you at the end there, yeah.
So I went to shake his hand, and he wouldn't shake my hand. So I'm just like what? What? And then I went to shake. He did this, and
it's like incredibly immature.
Oh my god!
And it's funny because there's a sticker on WhatsApp that is me like this and him like this. But how he did it was so perfect. How he set it up. You know what I mean? Like he did it so smooth.
Oh my god!
But then immediately I was like, why did you do this? Yeah. Why? I didn't want to fight you. Yeah. That's all I kept saying to him. That's all I kept saying. Why did you do this? I didn't want to fight you. You think I'm happy that I fought you? You think